Hey yo, this is your boy Odyssey right here. Well, I'm gonna explain the reasons why that the the Golden State Warriors all want to leave to move to San Francisco like right now because I'm gonna give you three things why. Okay, there's my first thingy that I'm gonna explain you right now. Well, number one is gonna called the mental health issues. The mental health issues is what these people, what was happening in the world right now. They're talking about getting killed or getting killed themselves, or people have been involved with NRA, committing suicides, or people have been listening to one of those music of the new genre of SoundCloud rap. That is the most depressing genre I've ever seen, because we've been talking about this and that's something that causes with the race. You know what I'm talking about? Because people shouldn't never get into the mind of their own business to think about that stuff. People, they're losing their minds when people are talking about God, and people keep talking about faith. People just think that the Golden State Warriors is an authentic team. If they would have been staying in Oakland, they would have became as mental illness issues. Because people have been taking Xanax, people have been taking drugs, people have been taking cocaine and shit. It's crazy, and that stuff can kill yourself. And that stuff can make you dead. Like within seconds, if you're start crying, depression and shit, that doesn't make you feel good. You know what I mean? Think about it. You got so many family that you don't have since when they take away from the DACA what Barack Obama took when Donald Trump took it away from it from the Obama administration back in the days. Think about it, because that's what's called politics is happening, because that's part of the racism too. But and I explain for that shit about why is committing suicide. It's just worse because people want to hang, people want to just fall off the cliff. People just want to slipping on the bed like cover when you drown, and then and all that, all of this is that can cause you to commit suicide and kill yourself with a gun or a knife or anything that can cause a problem. You know what I mean? And especially Cesar Extension that just passed away, so and Lil Peep and the others. I don't care that I seen those SoundCloud rappers that just don't care. Especially Kurt Cobain commit suicide, and so does the leader of the band from Linkin Park named Chester Bennington. Because if you want to get away from the commit suicide, just call 1-800 Sasa. You know what I mean? And that's all I can hear. Well, why mental illness issues haven't been dispersed when people haven't heard when they talk about the 3-1 lead, and plus they're not very good exciting fans. They're just amusing fans, the cheater fans and angry fans. You know what I mean? They've been have this since for many years when they used to be a sorry team. You know what I mean? And all the Lakers fans know about that shit. You gotta keep talking about that. You gotta keep hearing that shit. And that's something that's coming out of your mouth. And that's all I can hear. And number two, and has to deal with racism. That includes the Jim Crow laws that just came out from the book, from the new Jim Crow law, Black Lives Matters, or disrespecting on black African American people and hippies. People are just, they're not getting used to all those fans about that, because when people are on the bandwagon, all these blacks and hippies would enjoy just the Warriors basketball and just let the team to just go up and ruin an NBA. That makes you look stupid. You know what I mean? If you look stupid as a fan. If it says rest in peace bandwagon, Warriors going to San Francisco, bitches. Think about it, because when you says when I'm well about tell about do the jitsu every time well about and jumping Jim Crow. Well, things can get so much racist. You know what I mean? Well, I watched the rise and the fall of Jim Crow. It's just too scary what these black people that are just that kind of that stuff and bombers to the slaveries that happened with Abraham Lincoln and shit, you know. And especially using those N words that they came saying that's disrespectful, like they use the word like nigger, you know what I mean? You know what the hell I'm talking about, because that word that could be very disrespectful from your ass. You know, I respect for black people. I just didn't mean that. I just said like in explanation that was happening in the city of Oakland is where all these the ghost town, where all these lots of black people have been living here for most of this occasional reasons. They have their own like one of those Oakland sports franchise. You know what I mean? Like the Oakland Raiders and the Oakland A's are always our blacks' favorite team. Think about it, because if people can still the teams to love about, can't do that. You know what I mean? It's all like Black Lives Matters, you know, just all let you know, you know. In LA, we always just care about black people, you know. We don't even meant to say nothing, you know. It's just the people who have like one of those have been like commit suicides, or people have hanged before, like one of those relatives they have. Think about it. This is why people are just tearful and crying when they heard about LeBron James in Game 7. Think about it. This is just worse. Why would the Warriors think about that is this one. And number 3, cheat codes. Cheat codes can be expected that was happening, especially when that was happening in 1975. Because people are like the most angry fans in the city of Oakland. Because when they represent as Golden State Warriors, they always cheat, especially that certain seasons that was happening since like during the 80s, 90s. Well, 90s that did happen before when they beat against San Antonio Spurs. Same thing with the 2010s when they beat against the San Antonio and the Houston Rockets, or the Cleveland Cavaliers for the 4th NBA Finals round. That makes sense to me, because if you tell someone of those coach to overturn, like if you're the player of the Golden State, to tell things that wasn't us or some shit, you gotta give your explanatories, because that shit can wreck your fucking mind. And that's stuff that could kill you. And that stuff, that pain, will be dead. You know what I mean? Because a lot of Golden State fans are reckless. Think about it. When they don't have any potential, when they have to raise your emotions like that, like Draymond Green or DeMarcus Cousins, or eventually with Andres Beatriz, Monte Ellis, Corey Maggette, or plus, I know some of the guys they mostly cheated, to tell things to the rest like that to overturn. We know it's all about Vitas Ezeli, Harrison Barnes, Matt Barnes, Chris Mullin, Baron Davis, and Sleepy Floyd, what was it at that time, and Rick Barry, you know what I mean? Think about it, because if you're keep telling those referees to go with it like that, people that just don't call it when some of their Warriors opponents trying to beat them back, that they can't, because they like to play cheat, because of the Warriors referee can handle it whatever it takes. They can handle it what they do. And they can't control them, because you can't tell things to the Warriors. They do it like that. That's called tattletelling. You know what I mean? Think about what these relationships of the Oakland Warriors have been talking about. Because the Golden State Warriors, as the Oakland Warriors, they've always been terrorized around here. When they move to San Francisco like that, it's just a racism way. Think about it. Because if you feel if it's something that's happened right now, a lot of people are having emotional breakdowns. People are having like giving this knowledge. People are just doesn't feel like to be cheated no more. People just don't want to feel that way when people are getting hurt from racism. If you want to just beat the Warriors or something like that, you gotta say something is more disrespectful with race and depression. Think about it. That's what it's at the top of the game. You can't say when they cheat. That's called tattletelling. If you tell tales to the referee like that, that's tattletale. You gotta interfere themselves. what they could. When someone steals your ball, gotta fear yourself. Think about it. Think about it if you're playing in an NBA game. Think about it. This is what it's about, because if you feel don't feel like if you're playing against the Warriors in the big ass competition, you gotta feel yourself and get your own self anger to beat the Warriors. If you want to do something like that, say something if you want to get something with race and disrespecting on them, to getting under depression and bullying and shit. Think about it. Bullying is the most answer that you can get on the Warriors. Think about it. Because a lot of Lakers fans know that shit. You know what I mean? And we get that stuff because the Lakers are the black and white's favorite team. But it's now, it's all has been deal. Lots of races. Lots of races. You know what I mean? Because we're everybody's team except the Warriors. Because Warriors are like the black's favorite team. You know what I mean? Not even white's team. White's team is San Francisco. Black teams is Oakland. Think about it. That's all I can hear. I'm going to tell you right now. So if you don't understand why, this is the reason why that there's 3 things that just come out. Just put me in the comment down below, or subscribe if you want to. If you like this video, like it, whatever you want. This is Eagle Eyes at Sea. Just a moment.